What's going on, YouTube? Had a chance last week to sit down and had a really good conversation with a fellow content creator, TatteredTV. Now, Tattered showed a lot of love to my channel around the holiday time last year. And so I wanted to spend time to sit down with him one-on-one, talk about his business, talk about content creation, and overall just have a general discussion about where things are headed. Now, we ended up talking for about 4 hours, which I know is way too long for a video like this. So I took some of those key components, some of those key parts of the conversation, and put it together in a video about an hour long that you guys can enjoy. I know it's a long video, but listen, we had an unbelievable discussion, so it's probably best to listen to this like we've done in the past, maybe as a podcast, or feel free to skip around using the topics and the time codes I've put below. Also, if you gain anything from this video, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. YouTube's gonna be a huge initiative for Bad Bear Gamer heading into 2021. And I don't want you to miss out on any of the unbelievable conversations we have with other content creators or any of the tutorials or setup videos that we have planned. So if you click the little bell next to subscribe, you'll be notified anytime I upload a video in the future. And do me a favor, if you like the video, like the video. That's a great way to help us continue to spread the message, reach more people, and build the community. You can also find a link to all of my socials down below in the description of this video. I'm out on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and I stream live on Twitch anywhere from 4 to 5 days per week. We also have an unbelievable Discord community that if you're looking for a great opportunity to connect with other members of the Bear Gang, see when I'm going live each week, or even just hang out and share your story, it becomes an unbelievable resource that more and more people are discovering every day, and I want to extend an invite to you. A link for that can also be found in the description. But that's enough of a lead-in for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion I had with TatteredTV, and if you have any topics that you want me to discuss in the future, make sure to drop a comment on that, and I'll make sure to get to them. Enjoy the video. What has been your big focus inside of your journey? Like, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? What's your goal?
So, since we did talk about what we were or where we started and stuff like that, I'm gonna answer that by kind of going back again to what I was when I first started streaming.
Mhm.
I was that same sweaty COD player that you can find a million of on Twitch that does their thing. If I had people get in there, I'm good at talking like we are right now. I can shoot the bull like nobody else. But a lot of times I ran into issues of just getting people in there. And if people came in, they would stay, and I made friends and I made connections and all this kind of stuff. The problem is a lot of people that get into Twitch, they try to stream themselves and they get busy, and then numbers aren't there. The normal stuff that we all deal with.
Mhm.
Um, but I was that saying I wasn't entertaining just when I was just playing by myself or playing with my buddies. I was just more focused on being good at the game because that's what I held on to was that 200 in the world. I held on to it
Mhm.
with all my might. I just don't have time for that. I got a 10-month-old. I got a wife. I have 2 businesses. I don't have time to be God level. I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah. That's
And what recently happened for me was right before TikTok, before I got on TikTok 3 months ago, or actually 4 months ago now.
okay.
Crusader, actually. I was watching her stream and she said something that clicked in my head. And it changed my whole stream, changed my attitude towards everything. She said, "I'm a variety streamer and I play whatever the fuck I want."
Mhm.
And that just clicked for some reason in my head that I need to be me. Like a I'm a funny fat man. That's what I am. I'm gonna be honest with you. And so I can crack jokes and talk and be entertaining, and I have knowledge on tech. I mean, expensive stuff. My whole setup's outrageous. And so I know things that I can share and help people with, and I can be funny. I can crack jokes. I am more focused on the entertainment aspect of it now that I want to see people say LOL in chat. I want to see people put KEKW and all these kind of funny things and have interactions with me because of who I am as a person. And I was really bad about leaving myself out of my stream. And
Makes
so
sense.
my goal is now to really focus on me being part of my stream.
Mhm.
Um, and since that point, I started doing TikTok, really focusing on me as a streamer, and numbers have been astronomically better than they've ever been.
That's good.
Well, like before 3 months ago, I would pull 1 to 2 viewers,
Yep.
and there was buddies lurking maybe. And then everything changed, and now I can pull 15 to 20 viewers by myself, no raids, no host, no nothing. And TikTok, I had 0 followers, and now I'm at 18.3 thousand.
Yep.
Had 2 videos go over a million.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really kind of grinding on just incorporating me and being me.
You have to. And this is one thing that I can't stress enough to the majority of people, right? Is there's nothing wrong with being very, very good at a game, and that's what you do, right? But if
Yeah,
you're
nothing
gonna
wrong with that.
be that, you have to be that. Like you have to be you can't be good. You have to be the best. Because if you're attracting people that want to see that, they don't want to see average and even like slightly above average, when at the same time I as a viewer could go invest that into somebody else who's great.
Yeah, you can go to the big streamers like Nick Merckx and Cynthia and all those
Exactly.
guys see
Well,
mind blowing stuff. And
people don't realize though, like even Nick and Tim have completely changed their brand. Right? This isn't the Nick of 3 years ago. Right? What Nick and Tim have done now, and they're playing into it, is they've created the entertainment aspect to the point where they can play whatever and he can be entertaining. He doesn't have to be cracked at it anymore. Even though he's a very good player. He doesn't have to be, because people are tuning into the stream now to see him and Tim interact, right? To hear
oh
them
yeah,
yell at
the
each
whole
other.
K pasta and yell and
Bingo.
the whole shebang.
Yeah, exactly. But then there are players that are like, you watch them and they're absolutely insane at the game at all times. And if you're just getting started, yeah, you can be that, but you have to be that all the time. Otherwise, you're never going to really experience tremendous growth. For me, again, Maddie was a giant influence on me very early on. And I was blessed to have her reach out and spend some time with me one-on-one and build a communication to where when I had questions, I could go to her, and we still have that type of relationship, which is outstanding. Um, but I agree with you. I think at the end of the day, what am I providing to people? I'm providing myself, right? They're tuning in much like you could sit on the couch and turn on NBC and watch a sitcom and forget about your daily troubles. People are tuning in to see me as a person, to see us as content creators just interact in the natural element and take their mind off of what else is
The
going on,
insanity.
which has been even more amplified because of COVID in 2020. So if you can provide that in whatever definition that is for you, that's going to be the most organic way to build a community around, like you were saying, yourself versus your gameplay. Does that mean that everybody? No, right? When I switch games, my viewers drop. When I'm playing Call of Duty, I'm right now between 50 and 70, depending on the night. Some nights we cross over 100. But at the same time, when I go to other games, whether that's Apex, whether that's freaking Viva Pinata,
I
whatever,
saw that one.
yeah, I'll drop down. I'll be between 30 and 40. I'll lose 30 to 50% of my viewers by switching the games, but it keeps it organic, and then it makes sure that I'm not tied to that one game, because that shit's always going to change. You know what I mean? It
That's
always
the
is.
thing with me too, is I went from being just a COD streamer. I've turned COD on maybe 5 times in the last 2 months.
Hmm.
I just the whole meta and everything going on, and always broken gun and always some glitch. It was just like I don't enjoy this.
Correct.
And like Maddie said, I'm a variety streamer. I play what I want. You know what? I Part of that whole statement that kind of clicked with me was I need to take control of my channel. And I've played co-op games and I've collabed with people that I thought I would never would. And like even sitting here talking to you, when I started TikTok, I would have never thought I would be talking to some like on the phone or in Discord with somebody that has 100 plus thousand followers, and anybody would know who I even was. Cause like on Instagram, that I have like 80 followers, and that flopped because that's so saturated. And so like I know that you're an everyday person just like Maddie is and I am, and like it's just a number that we all have on. But the
Yeah,
fact that I've
it's
been noticed now by some people that I would have never thought would have even registered to me, or what I would register to them, is kind of blowing my mind sometimes.
yeah, it becomes a little surreal. Because we do, right? We gauge, even though we don't mean to, we do gauge like almost level of importance by follower count. It's like that really really isn't a gauge. You know what I mean? To some extent, sure. As far as what I view it as is I view it as commitment, right? I view it as how, if you're growing, that means you're pumping out content regularly. You're committed to what you're doing. You're taking the time, you're spending the energy. You're obviously very committed to it. Whether you have 1 million followers, whether you have 5,000 really doesn't determine your wealth or your standing within the industry, especially on a platform like TikTok that's still brand new. I mean, there are content creators right now that when they go live on Twitch, they'll have 200, 300 viewers every single time they go live. They got 8,000 followers on TikTok just because they're new
I've
to it.
noticed that.
Yeah, they're just,
I've noticed people that way.
well, the industry shit on TikTok for a while. It really did. I mean, they didn't want to accept it. And it's because there's been the mindset how, 3-4 years ago, people were grinding on Twitch was you pumped out content on YouTube, you pumped out content on Instagram, you built a community brick by brick over long periods of time, and you experienced slow and steady growth. TikTok has been, it's everybody though, right? I mean, that was my conversation with Maddie. Maddie, she wasn't averaging 1,500 viewers 2 years ago. You know what I mean? She had like 100. She blew up on TikTok. Now she has 2 point whatever million on TikTok, 2.2, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, and now she's built this gigantic fan base that's incredible. It's been a life-changing experience, but it's because she bet on TikTok early. She was one of the first ones to do it.
She was one of the first ones to do that whole circle cam thing. And
oh God, yes.
Now I use it. I even use it.
Everybody does. I mean,
yeah.
or in some way, shape, or form. I mean, she was such a revolutionary to what TikTok gaming content has been. And then now there's been others that have continued to evolve that and push the button a little bit as far as what it should be. I was talking about this with an advisor, or I said an advisor. I was talking about this with another streamer not too long ago about the cost of entry. The cost of entry when I was getting started was very, very low. And my first TikTok was in March. It was like right around when I started streaming. It was a little bit before that, actually. I think it was like March 2nd. But the cost of entry was so low. You could pump out a game clip, and just because there wasn't a ton of people doing quality editing on games, like it didn't even need to be quality, but something that looked different, it worked. Today, there's, let's call it 100 times more people doing it, and everybody's figuring out how to edit in some way, shape, or form, or what works for them. So the cost of entry to try to build a community is much tougher now than it was back then.
I can tell you now from when I started in September, because so I posted in September, got some traction, got sick in October, like didn't post a thing, didn't stream a thing. I had 102 fever all of October, so I was just dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
November came around, and I posted my first Among Us clip, and that's when Among Us had first hit the scene, 1.7 million now, and it was no editing. It was literally just I killed someone and they forgot to mute their mic in Discord and went, oh, and that was it. That was the clip. That is one of the most boring clips in my opinion, but everybody loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so weird to me because now I post clips that are high definition and edited right, and you can see everything, and I actually have dialogue with it and all those kind of things. And the clips where I'm not saying a word or nothing's happening, people love it. Yeah. It's the weirdest thing to me.
Gary Vee talks about it, right? Gary Vee says that quality is subjective. It is. So we can produce content that we think is high grade and something that we spent a ton of time doing, but we don't determine the quality or the value on the platform, right?
No.
The algorithm does, and realistically the viewers do. They determine what stops them and holds them on a video for an extra 5 seconds, or forces them to share that with somebody else and then boost those numbers within the algorithm. And sometimes the more simple something is, the better. I mean, I'm getting to the point now where on TikTok, I will be scrolling through, and sometimes I'll scroll past a video because it looks too professionally done. Like I'll notice it really? doesn't look like it should be on the platform. Usually this doesn't happen in the gaming world as much, but specifically like if I mean, again, it just is weird. I don't know. I'll pull it up and it just looks so clean in HD that I'm just like, no, this person's clearly investing way too much time into what they're doing. Bye. And I'll scroll off it.
I have a question for you. Why does that make you, because they invested so much time into it, why does that make you scroll past it? Like, or why does that make you have that reaction to it?
Because then this is something that you have to do. You have to put yourself in the mindset. The other thing that I do at this point in my career, to be 100% honest with you, I'm scrolling past probably 90% of gameplay clips within half a second. I just don't give a fuck. I just don't.
At least you're honest.
They saturate the market. Like, what do I care? Every now and then I'll see one that makes me laugh, but the majority of times it's a sweet play. It's this and that. There's nothing I really haven't seen. And if there is, usually I don't find it. It gets sent to me. Like I see it some other way. Doesn't mean I don't appreciate it. And if it's something that's valuable, I'll like it. But there's so much. Once the algorithm knows who you are, hey, I'm a gaming content creator, my market is saturated with it. So if I scroll and I see another one of just basic thing that pop up, unless you catch my attention or you're a creator that I know, boom, done. Fuck you.
That I understand. Like with COD, like you have kind of branded yourself to an extent as being a COD content creator.
Mhm.
And so like, yeah, in COD, yes, I can understand that. I guess just because I use other things like Among Us and uh solo games or co-op games that I've played that are like scary. It's like me losing my mind. Uh that's why I associated it that way. I was like, why does a gaming clip make you just boop? But as if it's COD, yes, I understand it. Oh, it's another guy hitting a
I'll do
trick shot.
yeah,
Cool.
but I mean, usually I spend more time on my For You than I do my following. And if I'm on my For You, I mean, again, most of the time, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's gaming, I just don't unless they catch my attention, unless there's something in those first literally milliseconds that grabs me. Perfect, you'll hold me. But it is such the platform is not designed. It's not YouTube. I'm not clicking on a video because I'm interested in the topic. It is designed like Tinder, where it is fast twitch memory emotions. Do I like this? No. Done. Next, 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 next. It's instant gratification. And if you don't give me instant gratification, I'm out. I'm done. You know? And that's just where I'm at. And I do a ton of content consumption. I look at a ton of different content. I see the trends that are out there and what's going on. But that's the reality. And so in today's day and age, if you're making content that is so gaming related, it just isn't going to do as well unless it's an insane clip. And I mean, like, you know, when you do something that you're like, wow, that was really good, or a really funny moment, like something that's really personable. But that midline range, just in my opinion, just doesn't mean I'm not going to get viewers. I will. You know, my great clips get 100,000 views on there. My not, so great clip, like even if I post just like an average clip, it'll get 5, given my following 5,000, which is outstanding. But I mean,
No, I completely understand because I posted COD content. I tried doing let's do our first drop at blah blah blah, and I think I got like 800 views on it or something like that.
saturated as fuck.
And like when they first opened up Stadium, I did one for that, and it just
If you're not
was
if you're doing that type of content, you got to be first to the arena. I did a
Oh,
video.
yeah.
I did a video on the first invisible glitch that came out, where people could turn invisible, and it got like, I don't know, 100,000 maybe. But it also had 3,000 shares. It's because I was one of the first videos out there to show it and say, hey, this exists. So a bunch of people are sharing it, so it translates. But like my most constantly viewed stuff, which really goes back to what is the platform at the end of the day, my most viewed stuff is stuff where it's me on camera. Like usually it's me filming from the app. Sometimes it's not, but most of the time, I mean, it's a social platform.
That's what my latest content's been. Like I said with Maddie, when she made that comment, and I started more focusing on me. Big Rob, I've duetted a few of his videos, just making funny comments or whatever, like snippets from his thing, and then
That's what he's built
duetting
his
it.
entire business on, has
Oh,
been
yeah.
him. I mean, that's a valuable source, right? As far as just overall philosophy. And Big Rob and I have very different opinions on both can be successful, clearly. He pumps out 6 to 10 pieces of content a day. I pump out 1 to 2.
I try to do one a day, and I actually talked to Rob about this too. I was like, "Is there a reason you're pumping out?" Because I literally looked at it. I was like,
It's
it
because
was like 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours, 9 hours. I was like, "Holy hell!" And I went and looked at his channel
quality
nine
is
times that
subjective.
day.
Quality
Nine
is
times that day. I was like, "Holy cow!"
quality is subjective. I mean, this is a Gary V philosophy. It's not about, you can't bank on quality because you don't determine it. So you got to focus on quantity. It's a Gary V philosophy. So focus on the quantity. How many times can I pump out content consistently? If you can pump out 9 pieces of content a day that all of which are at least deemable, you don't know which one's going to go viral. But when
No.
one does, boom, it'll boost all the ones around it.
Oh yeah, I saw that whenever mine hit 1.7 million, it went to all my other ones too, boosted up another 10,000.
Mhm.
And it was just, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because they get interested in like, oh, let's see what his other content is. And they click on it and they watch the next few and see what it does. And if they like it, they'll keep watching or they'll follow or whatever. But it's you can definitely see my areas where it's like 800, 800, and then 1.7 million or 1 million, and then everyone around it's like 10,000. It's like a wave effect.
It is. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what the benefit of a viral video, that absolutely helps kind of push all that through. So you're pumping out content on TikTok. Where else are you focused right now in 2021?
So my next goal, and just like we mentioned earlier, just with doing YouTube and or doing life things with having kids and wife and the whole shebang, I've made one YouTube video so far. I'm new to the platform, and that was about a month ago, and just haven't followed up with it. So my goal is to kind of get content on YouTube, more things out there, and I don't want it to be just bod stuff, like just straight. This is my stream
Mhm.
on that platform. 48 hours later, I want it to be things that I edit and make funny moments with, and like I did the YouTube video I have out there is an Among Us one where I played with 9 other streamers. And I went through and got every one of their death reactions. So I'd kill them and they're screaming, "God dang it, it's tattered!" And it was good content in my opinion, and it did, I think, fairly well for one video on one page. Um, and that same footage actually did really well on TikTok. I think it's at 750,000.
Mhm.
And so that's and I also want to get more active on Twitter. I've tried Twitter so many times and it's so hard for me to remember to post or really go through it and do it. Like I just my own personal Twitter, I've tried Twitter like 5 or 6 times and I always just drop dead on it.
It was an interesting experience for me because I'm on right now. My platforms are TikTok's my primary, but then YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm on all of them. And it was a very interesting moment when I surpassed my personal accounts on all of my business accounts. I mean, it was a very crazy experience. Twitter to me is one of those things. It's the how do I word this? It's kind of the underground railroad that nobody really remembers. And what I mean by that is Twitter's such an ancient thing, especially to today's youth, that the majority of them aren't necessarily on it or utilizing it as much as, the people who are 25 to 45 because they remember the big Twitter craze that happened in the early 2000s, right? When this was like the social media platform to be on. It's not anymore. But what it's become for me, in all honesty, has been my greatest networking tool. And the reason why is because it's not as saturated. And so what I mean by that is it's slow to grow on. I mean, I think, and I pump out, I don't know, anywhere from at least 1 to double digit tweets a day. I'm very active on the platform, but it is the one place I can get into DMs faster than anywhere else.
I
Anywhere
believe
else.
that.
TikTok
I
DMs.
100% believe.
Yeah, TikTok DMs are dead. If you're using TikTok DMs to try to talk to me, good fucking luck. I get anywhere from 50 to 100 DMs a day.
Really?
Yes. Majority of which are, and this is the crazy, I don't understand it. Majority of which are people sending me videos with zero context. People I don't follow, people I don't interact with, I don't know. My DMs are open because I'm always open to conversations. If I don't follow you, that doesn't mean that I won't follow you in the future, right? If you DM me something and I read that and responded and interact with your content, I'm like, yo, this person's doing something. Like, I'm going to drop a follow on this. You should be given that opportunity. I'm not just going to close it off because my DMs are closed. But the majority of which are, it's people sending me videos with no context. Probably at least 40 a day. Every day.
I get like 1 or 2 guys that maybe send me a clip every 1 to 2 days, and so it's like mine isn't flooded like that. But that's
It's
crazy that
nuts.
yours is so like, boom, look at this.
But that's why I really don't open DMs on TikTok. I'll do it probably once a week. I'll sit down and filter through everything. I'll determine what's valuable, what isn't, who are people that I'm talking to. But the majority of people, when they're trying to reach me, Instagram is tough because Instagram, if you have a following on Instagram and you try to DM somebody that doesn't follow you, it will alert that person that you tried to. It'll say, hey, this is a pretty sizable account that just tried to message you. You might want to read this. Even if you don't follow them. And I get those, right? I've had people reach out to me on Instagram that have 12,000 followers, and I get a notification as if I was following them, and I might not know who they are. But the majority of the time, it just pops up into the non-direct messages, which again is a bin that unless I go filtering through, I'm not able to get to all those.
There.
But Twitter's something different, right? Twitter pops up right down below. I mean, it's a whole category. There's a little mailbox that just boom, it's right there. And it's very quick responses. Twitter's usually a very active, consistent platform. People are checking it. If you're using Twitter consistently, you're on it pretty often. That and Discord. Discord is huge for me.
Yeah, I that's another one that I'm trying to get organized. One of my mods is kind of revamping my Discord because, like I mentioned before, when I started streaming, I was a PS4 guy.
Mhm.
None of my friends would do Discord. I had a few friends that played PC, but I didn't really talk to them on Discord. So I had it, but I was never active on it really, except like the few times I played PC games. Um, but that's something I'm trying to revamp too, and kind of boost up and get people active and talking and doing things that I just haven't. We haven't made the leap from the Stone Age version that it was to a big version, like kind of like yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Discord was something we probably built in our first month and have continued to build it on top of that. But for me, it's home base, right? I mean, the goal at the end of the day for me is to build a community. And if a community is going to be a community, they have to have a place to come together. That's Discord. The community's not on
your church.
Yeah, community's not on TikTok. Community's not on, any of the other social platforms. There's no place where they're all interacting with each other unless they're dropping follows. You get a little bit of that live in your chat, but that's 4 hours a day, 4 days a week for me. That's 16 total hours a month or a week. I mean, like that, there's got to be more. There's got to be more interaction to really have people value what's going on. And at the end of the day, I was talking to this with John C. Stout. We did a previous YouTube video about it, about subs and how you gain subs, right? You gain subs because people find value in what you're doing, that you're providing me, you as an individual or you as a brand are giving me $4.99 worth of value. And so you have to determine what is that value that I'm providing. Sometimes it's 100% just I'm entertaining enough, or this is entertaining enough that people are like, yo, I turn you on, 70% of the time and I'll sit and chill with an hour and that takes me out of my own mindset and that's enough. That's great. Some people can do that. I can build a following. I can build viewers that way. But for me, I wanted to build more. I wanted there to be a community of individuals that are supporting each other, a place where I'm providing information and value that people find captivating and that help them. I mean, there's way more to the puzzle for me that I want to be providing on multiple fronts, right? More than just live stream. That's it. There's that. Yes. That's what everyone else is doing.
I can honestly say I probably didn't take this as seriously as I should when I first started.
Mm-hmm. Most people don't.
I was really bad about, like, let's say the raid and hosting. I know people have different aspects or views on this. I was really bad about rating the same 5 guys that I always knew and never went into other people's chats. Like I followed very minimal people, didn't do this. What we're doing right now, never did that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, in the last probably 3 months, I rated other people. Network, I've done collabs with people. Don't get me wrong, I still have my core group of guys that I mainly run with or play with and shoot the bull with and stuff like that. That's just who I enjoy playing with. But I wouldn't reach out and message so and so to see if they want to collab. I didn't message so and so and see if they want to do some special thing or do a giveaway. Like me and the Clean Foul did the whole race to 20K. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, I did see all that.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have ever done that before. And then when I kind of flipped gears, that's when things like that started to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's groups of people, and they're not wrong in any way. But there's groups of people that when they stream and they make content, they're doing it because they enjoy it. It's not about I want to go full time. It's not about competition to see how quickly I can grow or, what's the top. It's just I enjoy doing it. I enjoy when I game interacting with other people. I enjoy the editing and the creative process. And in that mindset, there's nothing wrong with just doing it at your own pace. And because you're not relying on it, right? You're not saying that I'm trying to push this. And for me, I don't financially, I have a full-time career. Like this is a side business for me, something I really enjoy doing, but I'm just way too competitive to be average at it. So I compete with myself to say how far can I push it. So if that's going to be the case, and I'm going to really take that mindset, then the question becomes, the attitude becomes, I have to treat it like a business. It's a fucking business. There are goals, there's objectives, there's schedules, there's things that we're doing, we're expanding, we're always looking into different opportunities, and if you're stagnant, something's wrong. All right, what do we need to do? Toss the playbook. What's new? What's next? How are we doing this?
And it's so crazy to me that I didn't have that same mentality because my dad owned a business my whole life growing up. Like from the minute I remember anything, he already had a business,
Mhm.
and I was heavily into it. Like it was named after me, and I've been a senior director of sales. I've done gone to seminars and all kind of different things selling our products. Like I've done all these things that like I know business, I know people. Why didn't I treat it like that? And like you said, I had that same mentality of I'm turning this on because I'm having fun with my buddies, and if people enjoy it, it is what it is, and I'll just kind of go let it happen organically. And
Mhm.
I don't know, it was
So where do you stand
that
today?
like
What do
I
you want
definitely
to?
stand to make it something.
Okay.
Like
And how committed are you to
it's.
that?
I mean, that's what I'm going for gold. Let me put it that way.
Okay. So get the fuck on other platforms. Step one. Stop producing. I mean, keep doing TikTok, but you got to be immersive.
Oh
I
yeah,
had a conversation earlier today with someone within my community, not a big content creator by any means, but he messaged me and he was like, "Hey, do you have some time to talk?" And I was like, "I can't, verbally get on something." I was at work, but I was like, "I can text and reply when I can." He's like, "Cool, that works." So he's sharing with me all of his numbers and what he's doing, and I was asking, "How do you split up your day?" And he says, I'm streaming about 40 hours a week right now. He goes, "I'm spending about 4 hours a day on other content." And I go, "What other content are you doing?" And he explained to me that, look, I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but the other content that he was doing wasn't really valuable content. And then when I asked, well, who are you consuming? Who are you studying? It was top end people, right? It was Nick Merckx. It was Cloaksy. It was these top end people. And I was like, you can't, right? The reality is, and this is exactly what I told him, 98% of people who are jumping into this right now will not be doing this in 2 years. They're grinding at it now because COVID is here, right? There's a good opportunity. It's a growing business. It's a growing industry. It's a growing enterprise. You're stuck at home already. There's this massive group of individuals that gamed as kids that are now becoming adults, but 98% of them are going to be gone. That means if I put you and 99 other people, only 2 of you are going to be left standing at the end of the day. And the question is who's going to be the 2 that are the most hungry? And here's why. Here is why it is so critical that your mind needs to be correct. Is because the bar is being raised. It's not, here's the baseline of what you need to be doing. We talk about that cost of entry. Here's the baseline of what you need to be doing. And hey, the people that are growing are maybe slightly above it. It's that more people are starting to make that jump. So that cost of entry is going to continue to rise. So what you need to be doing, the expansion you need to be doing, the fight for viewers is going to get tighter. So what are you doing or what are you providing that the other 98% of people aren't? That's a question. I mean, for me personally, like I'll just be completely transparent. Again, I'm pumping out YouTube videos about 3 times a week right now in various content forms, starting a podcast, Instagram, almost every single day on stories, to my main feed, probably once or twice a week. TikToks are at least once a day. If I'm 2 to 3, that's kind of where I want to be on the TikTok game, streaming 4 days a week. And again, like you said, that's on top of being a father and everything else. Plus, I got this whole other massive project that I'm doing with other content creators that we haven't even announced yet what's kind of going down that path. So I got all this shit. Why? Because nobody else is fucking, not many people are grinding that way. Not many people are running on 3 hours of sleep a night. You know, and there are nights that, yeah, I got to crash and I'm going to go to bed early and I got to catch up because I fall behind and it becomes apparent. But I got to do the shit that the other 98% aren't if I'm going to keep growing. That's the reality.
That's the one big thing I'm doing right now is I'm readjusting my stream schedule.
Mhm.
Because right now it's if I feel fine, I'm fucking on it.
Mhm.
I'm streaming, and I'm not taking the time to make the YouTube video. I'm not taking the time to just sit on Twitter and follow a monster amount of people and be active in people's pages just to kind of network and spread my web. And so that's what I'm doing right now is readjusting my stream schedule to be able to take the time to, or literally make the time available to where I can do those things. And like you're saying all this stuff and you're 100% right. And I know you're right because I've already had this conversation in my head of what do I need to do and how do I need to do it. And that's why I listed those ones as like Twitter and YouTube as two of the ones that I really want to get onto because I know
Mhm.
they work.
They do. They're slow burns though. And
I'm fine with slow burn. I've been in this
yeah.
for 2.5 years already. I'm here. I'm
Well,
staying.
the benefit is, in all actuality, the benefit is that TikTok is a rising tide that raises all boats. So you continue to follow TikTok, it will raise every other platform that you have. That's
Oh
the
yeah, I had 50
beauty.
followers on YouTube before I even posted anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's insane the way that it works there. So you do though have to really kind of challenge yourself to rethink and reevaluate all the things of what you're doing and what is that going to look like and what is your brand going to be. If I was brand new today, if I was a brand new content creator today, I would spend 40% of my time creating content. What I mean by that is live streaming, playing games. I'd spend 40% of my time creating content. And then I'd spend 20% of my time consuming content, looking at other people. And what I'm looking for specifically are ways to improve. I'm not looking at it for enjoyment purposes. I'm not watching somebody take my mind off of it. Well, every now and then, sure. But the majority of the time is I'm studying people to see what they do that I like, concepts that they have that I can adapt. Or realistically, I'm looking for trends of where this place is going and opportunities of what's going to be there. You know what I mean? And if you can find some of those opportunities and start playing on them early, it can take you off. A great fucking example of this, and I missed this boat, and I'm not overly upset about it because it isn't really the content that I wanted to create, but these guys who started creating loadout videos on Call of Duty early on TikTok, the ones that made their mainstay, Sally, Lucci, Stanman, they're done. They're blown up, right? They're there. They're viable. And they built their entire community because they saw an opportunity and collectively attacked it. And they saturate. Now then, that's saturated. You can make loadout videos, but you're not going to gain the Lucci number viewers or the Lucci number followers anymore because everybody's doing it. So if that's the case, you have to be looking at content saying, what's next? For me personally, this is why I kind of started with this conversation. I'm noticing a trend that gaming videos don't fucking matter, right? That's what I told you. That's where I think this is heading is these gamers and content creators. You'll always need to pump it out because you need to show that, hey, I'm still gaming and I'm having fun. And yes, you should remember this, but that's not the way to gain viewers anymore. It's these ancillary, it's these other things. It's these personal aspects. That's where I think is the next jump.
And that's what I mentioned of bringing myself into my stream is because you're right.
Mm-hmm.
It is I'm bringing myself into my TikTok where my numbers dropped a little bit. Like my average viewer per video has dropped. I'll be honest with you, but I'm fine with that drop because I know I'm bringing myself into it, and that's worked on my Twitch. It's eventually going to catch up on TikTok. These things that I'm iterating, and like you said, I'm still posting game video to remind, hey, I am on Twitch. Come check me out here. But I, like I said, I think I'm funny, and people tell me I'm funny, and people seem to enjoy me as a person and my funny fat man self. So I think it can work, and I'm willing to let that burn come in and then let it have that one random viral video I think is garbage all of a sudden just boop, boop.
That's TikTok, man. I mean, TikTok is a TikTok is a mistress. You know what I mean? It's unpredictable. It's everything you don't want in a social platform, and yet at the same time, it's everything you do. That's it. I
It's
mean,
that girl you shouldn't be messing with that you just
no,
keep going
I
back
mean,
to.
well, and the reality is that it works, right? But the second that you think you got it all figured out, the second you think you got it all balanced, guess what? You don't.
Nope.
Your viewers drop, things fall off, things start, not doing as well. And then you become discouraged and frustrated, and you're like, well, what the fuck? What am I doing? It's different. And it's like, literally, it might not be anything. Might be, but a lot of times it's just the content stale. What worked a month ago isn't working today. TikTok is
Among Us, I am a key factor of that because, like I said, 2 viral videos, other ones hit hundreds of thousands. I post a TikTok video now, it's 2 to 5 maybe.
Mhm.
Before, even like the ones that didn't really pop off, still were getting 10,000.
That's because there's such a large community that didn't know what it was. And so when it was a new game, when it was a hip game, people were like, this is entertaining. And it is. It's a little bit more, it's way more washed out now than it was 2 months ago. Right. It's
Mhm.
just, the same is true with like Fall Guys. I mean, think about Fall Guys. Fall Guys had about a month sprint where people were like, yo, this game is hilarious to watch. It's super fun. Nobody's playing Fall Guys anymore.
I saw someone playing it the other day on Twitch, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. I mean, you got D4 in the crew maybe every now and then, but that's about it. But yeah, I mean, it is about, in my opinion, building a community the right way, figuring out what that value is going to be. But as far as attracting new people, it's a marketing funnel, and the marketing funnel needs to have fuel in it to say, okay, how am I getting new opportunities and new at bats? What am I presenting? What am I offering? What is this? And for me, I think it's going to make a turn to the personal, and I don't know when that is going to turn away. But those have been my most viewed videos lately. Have been a lot of times nothing to do with gaming. Sometimes, but opinion pieces, comments, replies, that kind of shit.
Oh, I saw you were playing with Sweet Tail soon. I saw you made that announcement.
Friday.
I remember when she was averaging like 35 to 40 viewers. I still follow her. I just don't really get to catch her stream often, but is she pushing like 4 or 500 now?
1,000.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was way off. Yeah, she's pushing like 1,000 now. And it's so weird to like see these people that like I've known her or I've known of her. We don't know each other personally, but uh that have made this huge growth and people in the TikTok world are starting to like collide with my Twitch world. And it's interesting to see.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's still surreal to me to think about the network that has been built. And I get asked a ton, like, how do I get these opportunities? Like, because I'm not a huge account. I mean, I'm not at that level, anywhere near that. How did I get, the end to talk to Maddie and to have those conversations early on? How did I, get an opportunity with someone like Crusader? Someone like like Becca, who I've been playing with. Like, there's these large content creators that are just, it's questions. Mark Clark, another good example. Lucci. But the reality is that at the end, everybody, and I've learned this as I've continued to grow, people are still just people. And the one thing that is hidden more than anything, in my opinion, is the amount of toxicity and backstabbing that happens as you grow. People don't talk about it. There's a ton of it. There's a ton
Yeah.
of it. There's a ton of people that are selfish. There's a ton of people that are self-centered, a ton of people that will use you and abuse you and throw you to the side if it means that it's going to gain them a little bit of more clout, a little bit more popularity. And it's disgusting. It's
Oh yeah. No,
disgusting.
I've experienced it and seen it with just even my small group of or my group of friends and the small little communities we have and things like that. I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people come in and they're there when we have 20 followers, 20 viewers, and we've surpassed who they are. They all of a sudden pop in. I've seen them in my chat 3 times ever. I'm like, I know why you're here.
Yeah. And then, so a lot of those bigger people, what they want is they want genuine. They want authentic. They want people that are exactly on this, who are underneath exactly who they are on the surface.
I can honestly say the only thing that would ever happen with me and like a bigger content creator, I'm 100% transparent. Crusader is like my like role model for where I want all this stuff to go. If I ever got to play with her, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I'm 100% gonna fangirl,
Yeah.
100%. Like that's the closest thing to anything happening between me and a big content creator of like drama. So like,
Yeah, you just shit happen, you know? I mean, so the key is to present that genuine front of just, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do. I've heard that you're looking for XYZ. Great. Like literally with Sweet Tales, it was I had somebody, I'd watched her stuff previously. But I had somebody from my community reach out and be like, yo, Sweet Tales is on stream today talking about how she's looking for other creators to collab with. I think your energies would match. Right. So I slid into her DMs and I was like, hey, somebody from my community also follows your community and told me, you're looking for this. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am. Let me tell you what I do. Check out my shit and tell me if you want to collab.
she's wild. She's got a lot
She's
of
high energy. But so do I. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Not like always to her extent, but it's gonna be a really good match from that standpoint of, again, there's just very genuine personalities. So it's surreal to me that, yeah, how down to earth these people, because they're just people. You know what I mean? They're people
Yeah.
living their lives.
Like that's something that kind of like made me reach out and be a part of your community and be a part of like reach out to Big Rob and like me and Rob talked about cars and just was talking the bull on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok Messenger and like reaching out to you guys that are 10 times my size on one platform. You're over that on Twitch and we're sitting here talking, just shooting the bull, just hanging out.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I mean, a lot of people. People don't even truly know like my numbers on Twitch really aren't that insane. I have 6,000 followers on Twitch.
So you how to put it this way. You had more growth in your 9 months than me and any of my buddies have had combined in a 2 year span.
Mhm.
So to us, people that have 20 number or 20, like have over 20 viewers, to us, that's like, holy cow. And we're just getting to that. We feel like we've accomplished something in life.
Oh, it's nuts. It's absolutely insane, right? From that standpoint, yes. But again, I don't compare it to that because I was, it's kind of like, holy shit, you're moving heavy weights. Yeah, but I was taking steroids. Like I was on TikTok and I was on TikTok early. Not as early as some, but I got in before the jump. And that helped fuel everything. But I'm not, what's crazy to me, here's the number that's craziest to me. This is what I focus on internally. I have maybe, I don't know the exact number, I'd have to pull it up. 10% of the total followers of some of these other bigger accounts that started at the same time as me. Sally's the dog, Lucci, Mark Clark, all of them. I'm with most of them right in line with them with total subs. With 10% of their followers. So what that tells me is they're attracting a very large populace of people that aren't subscribing to them. Versus with me, when we attract somebody, our retention is very high. Somebody's willing to spend $5.99 a month, or let's say $24 to gift to 5 random people, because they find value in what we present on
Well,
the
you're
front.
like me and get the fuck done.
I mean, that was insane, yes, but but every month there's somebody who steps up and does something crazy like that. And it's because, and I get DMs and messages all the fucking time just about, yo, bro, like this was a really tough month for me mentally. And to be honest with you, like when you stream, it's just, you take my mind off everything. Or I can't tell you how many times I've had people reach out to me to be like, hey, I just want you to know your community's unbelievable. I had multiple people like reach out to me to like check in on me after something happened, something in my life. My wife left, or, I literally was contemplating suicide and depression, and multiple people reached out to me and continue to check in with me, or I've made some of my best friends in 2020 through, the people that you brought together. Like there's so much shit that's bigger than video games that's going on. Um, and that number is the number that I'm most proud of, and what I continue to evaluate myself on, right? And place my own value is on that, not because of the financial benefit of subs, obviously, but way more so just about what's the impact that I'm truly leaving on this industry right now with the 6.2 thousand. But right now, 2,000 plus subs. I don't know where.
I think last I saw was like 2,100 or something like that.
December was crazy. December was a ton of gifted, the holidays and everything. I mean, that was an incredible time. Usually I'm between 1,800 and 2,000. That's fucking nuts. That's nuts.
Oh yeah, no, I completely understand that. So basically, what you're saying is, with them, they have the 700 average viewers,
Mhm.
but only 10% subbing. Where yours is 50 viewers or whatever it is at the moment, and you have 45% subbing.
Yeah.
That's making a community.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see how that would definitely be more of a notch on the belt
Yeah, it's
than
a it's there's 100 different, like, it depends how you define success. You know what I mean? Um, on the surface, if you're not a content creator, they look way more successful. And by many metrics they are. Um, but on other ones, I am going toe to toe for them, and in my opinion, the ones that matter as a content creator. So it's interesting, right? And so that's why my philosophy has always been, how do I provide value? What can I be doing that's going to, or what combination of things could I be doing that is going to be a differentiating factor? That's going to make somebody say, yo, I'm not just part of this community because I think you're fun. I'm part of this community because this community is fucking goated. Like, that's why I have things like the Alpha Club, right? An opportunity to actually be one-on-one with me and sit down and talk, and like, whatever you need, let's go through it. Like, let's talk about your challenges. That's why I have things like, as elaborate as the Discord is. That's why I continue to pump out content, because I don't know what it's going to be that helps you. I don't know whether it's going to be you picked up some tips about streaming and business creation that made you be better. I don't know whether it's you enjoy just laughing and having a good time. I don't know whether it's, you like being able to network with other members of the community. But if I can provide enough branches and extensions of myself, something eventually is bound, or some combination's bound to be enough for you to say, yo, this is it. This is worth it for me. Because most people only sub to, it depends on obviously your profession and everything, but most people only sub to 3 to 10 channels, maybe.
yeah.
I mean, if you're subbing to 10 channels, because that's $50 a month, spending on Twitch. For some people, that's a shit ton.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I understand that. I'm fortunate enough to where I've gifted a lot and I'm subbed to a lot and am very generous in this industry, I guess the way of putting
Mhm.
it. But no, I fully understand that a lot of people don't have $5.
Correct. And that's why, I mean, I tell people all the time, the value inside of my community, the value that people have has nothing to do with the financial commitment that they've made. Right? It's literally, I find more value in somebody who shows up to stream and is interacting with people way more than somebody who, you know, drops a shit ton of subs and I never hear from this person again. We've had
They
that.
freaking admit.
I've had people who come in and drop 25 subs and say, "Yo, man, I've been following you on TikTok. I think your content's dope. Never seen this person before. Never see them again. Thank you for the 25 gifted. That was extremely generous."
Poof,
But yeah,
gone.
but that's gone. Like, it was a one-time hit. I would rather have that person who's part of the community and engaged.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like you in the sense of like I'd rather have 50 viewers and have 10 subs
Mhm.
because I'd rather have people to talk to and have people to interact with and that are enjoying the content, even if like everybody's broke. It's
Mhm.
COVID. I understand. I'm not trying to be that person that's like, you
You don't
watch me
wanna
for
be.
60 hours a week, give me $5.
It's the worst. And
I'm not. That's just not who I am. I would much rather have you as a person and we can grow together as a community, and subs will come eventually. I'm not here to be rich quick.
Mhm.
I'm not here to eventually, if I could make enough money to be full time, amen. I will be happy as can be. But I know it takes time. I would rather have numbers and people here than subs.
Mhm. 100%. So what's your biggest challenge right now? I mean, what is the thing that's
Right now, I think the main thing that I'm at is just making time for the things that I'm slacking on, like Twitter and YouTube. Like I spend a lot of time on my YouTube video. I need to reschedule myself and divvy up time better to where I can do that stuff. Because I know, kind of like you, I kind of have a business background. I know what needs to happen. It's more of getting off my ass to do it
yeah, you need
and like actually making the time. Like you can make time.
big
Just
off.
like you, I only sleep 3 hours a day.
You have to isolate it though. You have to schedule it out, otherwise it doesn't happen. That's what I learned. And listen, I went on runs in YouTube where I didn't post for a month.
Mhm.
And it's because
That's where I'm at right now.
YouTube specifically is a bitch. It's a behemoth. You got to film it, which takes time, but then you have to edit it, which takes even longer. Um,
Sounds and sound effects, and if like with the one I did where I had to literally go in 9 other people's streams and find every kill,
mhm.
timeline it, and like we all were streaming for different time periods, so it's not like I can go to every video at 2 hours and 48 minutes. No, this person had been live for 3 hours beforehand, so I got to find out where they were in that time span and hunt everything down. It takes time.
Hell yeah. But I mean, that's why YouTube is a bitch. Like it just is. Tweets are
It's also
easy,
been
dude.
around forever.
Yeah. Tweets are easy. How long does it take to tweet your thought?
5 seconds, and for some reason my brain just doesn't go to Twitter. My brain goes to go to TikTok and watch for 3 hours while I poop.
But you see, that's different though. Like, cause that's TikTok to me is to your point, like it can be a time killer, it can be a time waster. It could be I'm studying, I'm trying to find trends and what's working, or find something I can make a video for the day, like find some audio that I could just duet or whatever. Um, but Twitter to me is live. Like, yo, I just had this thought. Like literally popped into this head, popping out on Twitter over there. Same time.
Yeah, I need to get that mentality.
Mhm.
Like I said, even my own personal Twitter, I created one, posted, and then, like, literally almost to the day, a year later, I was like, "What was my Twitter login again?" And because we were talking about it with some friends, and I was like, I literally posted the first one was like, "How do you work this?" Like, that was my first tweet ever, and then my next one a year later was, "I think I figured it out."
Mhm. Yeah, it has to be one of those things where yeah, it just is a gut react. I mean, because it's super simple. It's the fastest content you can create, and that's why I can create it and shoot it off like a shotgun. You know what I mean? It's thought here, tweet there, all in 30 seconds. Done.
Yeah, and I just need to get in the mentality of it, and for some reason, that is just one platform that hasn't clicked for me.
Mhm.
I've done Instagram, and I've kind of backed off Instagram because it just wasn't growing, it wasn't giving any kind of experience, and I really didn't have anything to I didn't wanna post the same clip I was putting on TikTok. I don't know what your opinion is on
I
that,
hate
and
it.
I guess
I
that
hate it.
yeah, I don't feel like you should post the
I
exact same thing on and
I
both.
agree. I there is a place like you can so like if you're attacking reels with the same content you're putting on TikTok, I have no issue with it because Reels is literally Instagram's version of TikTok. My problem is the people who add it to their feed. When I go to your Instagram page and everything is just your TikToks, I get it. I know why you're doing it. But as a genuine follower or somebody who studies your content and I follow you on multiple platforms, it's very transparent.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and listen, doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just my personal opinion. I don't believe in it. So like, yes, I will take my TikToks and put them on Reels, but I will set it to Reels only. And they will not do as well as some of my competitors who will add it to their feed because the feed will give it their viewers of their actual base. You know what I mean? So that boosts their likes and then it boosts their ability to become viral on like I get it. I just don't do it. And it's because it's not what, in my opinion, that is Instagram's fucking fault for making the two one because they shouldn't be. They should be two separate things. There should be Instagram and Instagram Reels. And when somebody follows you on one, they follow you on both. However, there's no reason why the reels should be popping up on feeds. That's obnoxious to me.
Yeah, I don't like. Why would you follow my Instagram if you see the same thing on my TikTok?
Correct. Right. And
Just like you, I don't understand it.
each platform has its place, right? To me, TikTok is kind of that what's viral, what's current. This is my primary cornerstone marketing funnel. This is where I promote the most amount of content to on a most consistent basis because this is where I gain followers. So this is my value. Instagram is the visual element to me. If I pull up my Instagram, like my actual feed, it's very little videos, all pretty much pictures of me, of gaming, whatever. But it's the visual element to it. And then my live stories, which is usually different than my TikTok. Again, reels you can remove and put separate. YouTube is my library. It's my collection, usually of longer length, more in-depth content videos, training, and coaching. Yes, I have VODs. Yes, I have full streams. Yes, I have stream highlights. But my big focus in 2021 is way more original content, right? It's pumping out more videos like the one I pumped out earlier this week. That was, here's my Streamlabs settings and everything I do on Streamlabs OBS.
I saw that one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm going to be pumping out way more of that moving forward.
Yeah, my goal for 2021 is very much as far as like what I'm making is like you said, original content. Um, Introducing myself more into the content, like doing it to where it's just me and with a thought or whatever. Or actually, I with the new fans and everything, I am very tech savvy. Like my setup is like 10 grand worth. I have three 27-inch monitors, a Nikon camera, a custom built PC. I got a 3080 on the way. Like I've got that set up. And so I really want to start introducing because that is something I'm very passionate about. I'm even in classes right now to learn coding. And so I want to start integrating that side of me into my TikToks and stuff like that. Like I don't plan on being a tech TikTok, but I want that to be part of it. Since I did my whole switch of rebranding and the whole thing with TikTok, in 3 months, I've gotten the same amount of actually more followers in 3 months than I have in 2 years prior.
mm-hmm.
Changing my whole outlook on all this and changing who I am on stream and changing what kind of content I make, changed everything, doubled. More growth than I've seen in 2 years in 3 months. It's like, well, hell, why didn't I do this sooner?
we get stuck in ways. I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I mean?
I think a big thing for me with that too was like you have kind of hit the ground running from the get go with TikTok and collabing with bigger streamers, and they kind of know not in the sense of how to do it, but they have that mindset because they have done it. They obviously have the mindset of how to do it. I spent a lot of times with the one viewer Andes and the guys that have 1 to 2 viewers and have like the guys I came up with that have at the same time we all had 100 followers. At the same time we had 200 followers, and we've all kind of learned through doing different things. We've all done it differently. Like I've done TikTok. My buddy that I talk to every day texted me while we were doing this. Uh, he got it by collabing with a specific streamer and him kind of making community alongside with that guy. And then another friend made it with collabing with a bunch of other streamers and making friends, like really close friends with a lot of people. So we've all done it kind of differently, but we're literally right now in this very moment, we are within 5 followers of each other,
Mm-hmm.
all three of us. And it's like, but that same
Taking
being
different
said, we've
paths.
all grown that
There's
double
no right answer
in that time.
Yeah, there's no
And
right
so,
answer. There's tons of different ways to do it.
yeah, it's one of those things where it's interesting, but my point in saying that was we all were stumbling to find that answer, and you've not that you had a leg up on it, but you worked your ass off and got lucky and had all these experiences with other big streamers that you've kind of had you hit that shot of nitrous in the back.
Yeah, it goes back to I studied content consumption. I mean, that's what it is. That's what most people don't do is they don't study other people. They don't study what other people are doing and ways to, like it even blows my mind today when people approach me. Like, I'm very approachable in my DMs and everything as far as responses and things like that. Especially if you put forth something open, right? But if somebody comes in and they're like, yo, I just started streaming, I've been following you for a while, like, what are some tips that you have? Like, no. Go figure out what you want to do and then come back to me once you have actual issue. Like, yo, I'm trying to do XYZ and I can't figure this out. Perfect. Let's walk through it. Let's figure out what's happening. You know what I mean? Inside of your business. But for me, I was studying people's content and learning those things like what you're talking about. Okay, this person's growing like a fucking weed. Why? What are they doing? How are they posting? When are they posting? What type of content are they posting? What do I like? What do I don't like? And again, that's, again, like you said, that's what attracted me to Cruz. But she was growing like a fucking, when I first started following her, she had like 300,000 followers. And there was about a 6-month span that I never posted on TikTok, that I had the app downloaded, that I was scrolling through it, that I never looked at anything because I was just consuming. And then I started posting. And it wasn't great. It was hideous. But like a bull in a china shop, I fucking did it. And I did it consistently and kept getting better. And then I learned, I had,
That's where I was too.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. And then, you know, I have a marketing background in a sense of networking from that standpoint. I learned how to kind of, again, network and build relationships. And I learned how to get in with people. I mean, it's amazing to me that people are like, yo, I don't know how you talk to so-and-so. Study their patterns. You want to know how to get in with bigger content creators? Number one is you can't be afraid to ask. And then number two is you got to study, where am I going to get a response? And don't jump off the bat right away by saying, yo, I want to collab. No, build a relationship. Cruz and I have never played together. Guess what? I've never asked.
Really? I thought y'all did one time.
Mm-mm.
Really?
Mm-mm. We talk. I mean, I have an open line of communication. If I ever need her for anything, she'll respond to me within hours. But no, we've never played together. And I've never asked. I've never abused that friendship because it's not about that. It's not about, hey, I need to stream with you. No, if she wants that, guess what? She's the bigger content. She can bring that to the table. But she's busy as fuck. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest. I have been the guy that comes out of the gate swinging, being like, "Hey, man, I've really enjoyed your content. Yada yada yada. Would you like to collab with me?" And actually, I've never been shot down, to be honest. But I can see how that would be a way to do it.
Gets tougher as you grow.
I can see that.
When you're collabing with people that are in those early kind of honeymoon stages, 20,000 or below, all of you are kind of piecing this together. Hooray. I hit a wall around late October last year where I shut down all collabs because I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm collabing with everybody everybody who asks. And I found myself collabing with people that I was just like, I don't vibe with this person. This doesn't match my personality. And therefore I put 3 or 4 of them in a span in the same week. By the time I get to the last one, if that one is, I can't carry a conversation for 3 hours.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it has to be a person that vibes with me. So now I'm way more picky about who I collab with. And the reality is the majority of content creators, if they're trying to collab with me, if they want to have that conversation, there needs to be a previous, unless I know who you are, right? Unless, again, like a Sweet Tales, like, yo, I know who this is. I can vouch for this. Yeah, you got to be a part of my community. But guess what? You'll see me playing with people that, yeah, they're grinding. They have 3 average viewers, but guess what? They've been in my community from day one.
I guess that's true, because like I came into your community and had no idea that this was even a thing, and then like eventually, being part of it, I would have asked you to play. Now that I think about it, because I didn't come out the gate being like, "Hey, here's 100 gifts of subs, let's play."
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Well, and the reality is even if I probably would have responded back and been like, no, like, I got to vet, I got to vet through everybody.
You got to know me.
Yeah, I got to know, realistic. I got to know that I can play with you and mesh with you well. There are
because I mean, like you said, like if you get into a game with somebody for the night, all of a sudden you don't talk. I mean, it's kind of like, hey, you're making subpar content when you could be playing with so and so.
I'm not good enough to carry a team the whole night and carry a conversation. Like, we need to do one of two things for this to be valuable. We either need to be cracked as fuck and be winning games, or we need to be funny as fuck and entertaining people. But if we're in this really awkward middle space, we're not doing anybody any favors.
I'm not gonna drop names, and you could probably figure it out by content recently, but I did collab with somebody recently that I had more chemistry with the people he brought in than him.
Yeah.
And
And
I was like, "Oh,
there are people
that
who
was rough." That was the first time ever I've had it be rough like that.
I've had multiple people. And there's nothing, and this is what I really want to communicate, is that there's nothing wrong with who those people are, how they interact. It's just, it does not mesh with me. That is all, right? They could be wildly successful building a hell of a community that relates to that enjoys that can match that personality. But if it doesn't mesh with me, it's not going to be organic, and I have to fake it. And I'm not good at faking it.
Oh, yeah, no, I strongly had to, like, lean on the people he brought in to be able to, like, make it quality content because, like, we just weren't really talking
Mhm.
and, like, we knew each other's content, and I'm gonna be honest, doing that whole, like, giveaway thing with Clean did open some doors, like, some people were like, "Oh, okay, I've seen him before,"
Mhm.
and, like, I started getting noticed, and I really started doing the whole networking thing, and that was the first time I've had a stream where I was like, "Yeah, this won't be happening again."
No, I will try. So what I'll normally try to do now is, again, unless I know who you are and I can vouch for you, I'll try to play with you off stream and get an idea of I mean, that's it. Is I gotta get a sense of who this person is. Do I mesh with them? Do we play well? What's their play style? Um, and it just is it is what it is. Not everybody's meant to
Yeah,
mesh, and so when it comes to, yeah, like the collabing and all of that, first of all, realistically, it's less valuable to be collabing with people because you're leveraging their name. You might get viewers on a night, but it's not gaining you followers necessarily. It's way more valuable to be building a network of people that you can be bringing in your inner circle that are like-minded,
and
right?
that's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, surround
Not
yourself.
just not just because like, who you are would bring, some followers or bring some viewers or whatever, like you said, that's temporary.
Yeah, I mean, it's the old saying that if I forget where it came from. I'm trying to remember the book, but it's a business book that basically has to do with mental mindsets and surrounding yourself with the environment around you. You surround yourself with 6 people who are millionaires. Guess what? You're going to be the seventh. You surround yourself with people that are succeeding. Guess what? You're going to be the seventh. You're surrounding yourself with people that are entertaining, interacting with their community, grinding. Guess what? You're going to be the seventh.
And the phrase my dad used was, "Birds of a feather flock together."
Mm-hmm.
That's the phrase that I grew up with, and so very much so I try to like people like you. I can, at least in my opinion, we mesh well, and like we can talk, and we can,
Yeah,
even if we're not talking about this kind of stuff, we can probably bullshit and talk for hours.
right.
That's just kind of person I am, and I think you are too. And so like you're someone I want to be friends with, not just because of this alpha club or the not alpha club, the
No, it's Alpha Club. Yeah, you nailed it.
oh yeah, okay, I was right.
Yeah.
Um you're someone I want to like because just from this conversation, I can tell we can talk and we can have fun and we can be friends. So I like you. This is something that I'm glad this is happening because this is opening a door for a friendship,
Mhm.
not someone I can collab with or use their name. Like when I went live 2 hours ago because we were gonna do this, I never once mentioned your name and anything. Made no post about it. Made no nothing about it because I don't want
I don't want it to be about,
to.
and that's what I ask. So anytime I collab with someone bigger, like I'll take Sweet Tails for instance. After we arranged that we were going to play together, I specifically asked her 2 things. Number one, do you mind if I stream this? Number two, do you mind if I promote this? And I've had people that have said, no to those, and I might, like Crusader and I have talked about playing, but it's been off stream. You know what I mean? It's never going to be on. We never did it, but it's because it shouldn't be about that. Like if we get to that point that we're saying, yo, this is what it is, and we want this to be that type of content, awesome. If we're both on the same page, fantastic. But if we're not, that's not why I'm here. Like if Sweet Tails was like, yo, let's play off stream. Perfect. Let's go do it.
Yeah,
I don't care. I want to
it's
see who she
networking. It's
yeah, I want to
friends. It's
exactly. I want to know who this person is so that I can message him. A year ago, I would have never thought that I'd be playing with Megan Anderson, the fucking female, belt contender. Like, what? For the UFC? Like, I'm playing with professional fucking athletes. I had a Olympic medalist message me on Instagram telling me that her and her girlfriend are huge fans of mine. Like, she literally, it was the sweetest thing. She was putting together like a collage video for her girlfriend for her birthday coming up, and so she was reaching out to some of the people that like they follow on social media to see if they'd send like a birthday video that she could compile together into this really sweet gift. Like, what? Like, how the fuck is my name popping up in this? Like, that makes no sense.
I've had some recently, like a rapper. He's a rapper, but he has like millions of views and plays and things like that on his Spotify. I literally have his cell phone number in my phone.
Mhm.
That is absurd to me. And I have a professional rugby player I've been talking to lately that like he hit me up for I basically tech support for like 100 different streamers, but he hit me up and was like, "Hey, so and so told me about you doing this," and like I could hit him up tonight, and then tomorrow we're gonna play together.
Mhm.
I haven't pulled the trigger on any of them because I'm trying not to like lean on that. But the fact that like he's a professional rugby player,
It's
he's
nuts.
a real like record label deal rapper. I'm like, holy shit!
Oh, it's like
It gets
fucking
very surreal.
Mark Clark playing with Marshmello. Like, what?
Wait, what? I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, it was either Mark Clark or Lucci. I don't remember. One of them played with Marshmello, the DJ.
That's cool.
Fucking insane. Lucci played with Josh Hart, the point guard for the Hawks, the NBA Hawks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's these connections that get built, but at the end of the day, while all that's amazing, like what I'm really looking for, it's the consistency, it's the relationship, it's people that I can rely on, that I can draw from, that I can give content to and information to, and at the same time I can receive back. Like, yo, we can have an open dialogue about XYZ and share common experiences and what's going on, and you can tell me some things that are going to help me, and I can tell you some things that are going to help you, and at the end of the day, if we both get better, there's room at the top. I mean,
Oh yeah. I mean, there's room for success for everybody.
yeah.
Anybody and everybody. And
Well, I mean, selfishly, let's go back to the 98-2, right? Let's go back to the 98-2 rule. If we think that 98% of those aren't going to make it, I want the 2% to be my friends. So if I can help you nudge out somebody else because you can make better content, and you're in my circle and they're not, that's more valuable to me. That's a selfish opinion. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, friends is friends. It ain't selfish to be a friend with somebody.
No, but it means somebody else is gonna lose, But that's the reality. Is only so many
life.
people. Yeah, so many people are gonna succeed at this. So who is it gonna be? It's gonna be the people that are doing that, and again, making those connections and building each other, because a community of content creators is gonna be stronger than an individual. It's just gonna be that way.
It amazes me because like you key example. I don't know if you know the Vanos crew or the banana bus crew, whatever they go by. Do you know who that is? They're YouTubers. They've been in this game for like 10 years.
That's like the crew.
Like Vanos is the biggest one. He has 25 million followers on subscribers on YouTube, and they've been a group for ever. And they're like best friends. They do VODs together. They do things like they don't live in the same state. They'll do like road trips to go see each other. I have some guys like that already that I'm friends with, and I think they've been around just as long as I have, and I think they'll be around for a long time, if not as forever, like I plan on being. But I do want to, I guess, branch out and meet more people, kind of like you and Clean and Big Rob. I could not think of his name for a second.
Yeah,
I had a
screw
total
Robert.
brain fart.
Screw Robert.
Oh, I love Rob. Whatever. That's
No,
my little buddy.
Yeah, I mean, Rob and I are in a ton of community, but like that's another good example. Like, I remember the video that made Rob follow me.
Really?
I remember the time he commented. I remember my response to him. And now that was 6 months ago, maybe. And it's just crazy that's where it transited. But at that time, I was like, yo, Like that guy has a shit ton of followers on here. And now you realize that that's just Rob's a dude, you know? He makes great
Oh, yeah.
content, unbelievable content. He works his ass off. But he's not some he's a dude. He's figuring it out just like the rest of us. And he's looking
I've been cracking jokes on his content. Every time he includes his wife, I'm like, is she gonna beat me up? I've 100% started the joke of she can beat me up.
Yeah, I mean, she's
a badass woman.
I know she is. But that's, I mean, at the end of the day, those are the things that, from a mindset perspective, if you're looking to grow, that's what you need to do. It 100% is the 98-2. And what are you doing to be in the 2%? What are you doing that's going to separate you from the other 98 people in the room? Or in our case, more like 98,000.